Isn't it fascinating what people wouldn't do if they were aware that they were doing it? If they were aware why they were doing it? Isn't it wild that many people put themselves in unhealthy, painful relationships because it mirrors what was modeled for them in their survival-based childhood? They learned dynamics of masochism, sadism, sadomasochism. They learned a belief that they deserve to be hurt because that was present in their childhood. So essentially, the little them drives the vehicle and seeks out those dynamics in relationships. If you don't know that healthy love exists, you're not going to go looking for it. You're not going to attract it. If you believe that relationships just equal pain, and you've got to fight really hard for any sense of, you know, a normal dynamic. But what even is normal to somebody who has normalized sadomasochism in their life? They would push away somebody who is healthy. Although, in reality, somebody that is healthy would never even be attracted to them. They would see it for what it is. Oh, wow, that person is stuck in a loop. They are in repetition compulsion, recreating their fucked up childhood in their relationships. Yeah, that's basically what's happening there. It's so fascinating what people don't see, that if they did see, they wouldn't do it anymore. This is why self-awareness is so important. This is why awareness of repetition compulsion from a survival-based childhood is so important. You won't change that which you don't see and understand. You also wouldn't do that which you come to understand and come to evolve with. You wouldn't put yourself in an unhealthy relationship if you understood that that is exactly what is causing you pain in your life. And it wouldn't just be, at least likely, it wouldn't just be one unhealthy relationship. The unhealthy relationships that surround you, if that is your case, are symptoms of the underlying issue. What is the underlying issue? Oh, well, you probably had a survival-based childhood. That is the root. Within that survival-based childhood, you likely learned that relationships are painful. The belief that surrounds you is, okay, well, relationships are painful. Anything that does not equate to that will not make sense to you, and therefore you will not put yourself in it. If you learned a belief that relationships are fun and gentle and healthy and beautiful and all these wonderful things, you would not be in unhealthy relationships. The childhood comes with it an equation. The unhealthy childhood is pretty much pain. The pain is the outcome of the equation. Person plus masochism, love, pain. That's how it works. Isn't it fascinating to look at it for what it is and understand, oh, wait a second, there's a lack of awareness here. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you in painful relationships? Are you in unhealthy relationships? What is the dynamic like in the relationship? Do you exhaust yourself trying to get something back from the person because you've given them so much of yourself? And you still just settle for breadcrumbs. You settle for inconsistency. Why? Well, because that's what you're used to. That's what your childhood gave you. You are just recreating your childhood over and over again. If you were to become aware of this, you would stop doing it. But you would also have to really put in the work to, heal the fucked upness, because there's a lot of fucked upness there. You learned to identify love as pain. It's not good or bad or right or wrong, but it is fucked up. Maybe you don't even understand that there is such thing out there as healthy love. And now let me make this very clear as well, because I've been seeing it more recently, like within the past, 3 to 6 months now. My content can be triggering. I understand that. And I also want to approach something else and make this very clear. There's a lot of other content on the internet that defines itself as self-help and personal development. And sure, you can take it for that if you so choose to. I personally believe that it's when I say very, I mean exceedingly superficial. It's a Band-Aid. It's the reality of it, in my opinion. Not here to claim fact or truth in anything. But what I am here to say is that there is a root to everything. There is a root to every behavior. The root is the why. Oh, this is the behavior. Oh, the root is down here. It goes up to the behavior. What a lot of people present is, just change the behavior. I mean, quite honestly, you can try to do that all you want. I don't personally believe that it is actually sustainable, because I personally believe that the only way that this is going to change is that if you change this, if you do something with this. Most people are just trying to put a fucking Band-Aid on this. They've got the flowers in the garden. The flowers are up here. And essentially what they're trying to do is put Band-Aids on the flowers rather than realizing, oh wow, this fucking soil is fucked up. There's so much nasty shit in it that's causing the flowers to get fucked up and all these different unfortunate things. Yeah, let's just keep putting Band-Aids on the fucking flower petals. You can. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. I personally don't believe that it is sustainable. There are a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of even probably licensed professionals that, in my honest opinion, aren't actually that effective. And I understand that this is probably triggering for people. What are you talking about? It's not effective. When you put a Band-Aid on a wound that needs deeper work, you're not really doing anything long-term effective for it. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it. Oh, I can't see it anymore. Yay, it's gone. No, not really. It's going to pop right back into place again. Imagine you become aware that your entire life, your relationships have been sadomasochistic. What does that mean? Well, sadism in and of itself is essentially deriving pleasure from another person's pain. Masochism is basically the same thing, except it is done unto the self. Which means that, if you hurt yourself or you allow someone else to hurt you, it brings pleasure to you. Sadomasochism is essentially when pain and pleasure have been intertwined. It is unhealthy. So if you find yourself in unhealthy relationships and you think that the solution is to just find healthy relationships, and so therefore you let go of the unhealthy relationships, what I believe would happen is that you would just end up attracting other people that have the same dynamic. You're not actually taking care of the underlying issue. You're just getting rid of one issue and then it's not that the person's the issue, the root is the issue. The root attracts the person. So you're like, all right, getting rid of this person. Oh, hello there. And you might not even see the red flags. They might go over your head and you might not realize, oh, wow, this is basically that last person 2.0. If you want to heal your drive to create sadomasochistic dynamics in your life, you actually have to do that work with the root. It's not just about band-aiding the fucking petals of the flowers. That will only that's like crumbs of gratification. That's it. Your life changes when you become aware of why you do what you do, and simultaneously do the work to change the why. I made a video not too long ago about how the well itself is fucked up. Many people just try to put a fucking filter on the faucet head. You can do that. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. But the likelihood that it's going to fall off and you're going to have to do something about it again and again and again and again and again is very high. What happens when you do the work to heal the foundation, the well, the root? It changes from the root. You can put a bunch of different filters on your fucking faucet head all you want to. They're probably just going to continue to fall off. You would not continue to do what you become aware of and what you change. That is, if it is unhealthy. It's very necessary to understand that you do not deserve to be hurt. You can, in fact, unintertwine and untie pleasure and pain, and to understand the root dynamic. Like, imagine if you were to become aware, oh wow, I create painful dynamics in my life because I'm sadomasochistic. Wow, I have a root belief that I deserve to be hurt. All of my relationships mirror that which was modeled for me. Wow. A lot of people literally believe that life is just inherently painful. This is the video that I think it was yesterday that I made on that subject. A lot of people literally believe that love is just painful. You gotta fight really hard for it. Oh yeah, what does that remind you of? Survival, right? Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. You gotta fight really hard to survive. You gotta fight really hard to survive in this battle of love. That's fucked up. You can see it however you choose to, but that is fucked up. And no shame, no guilt. Let me make that clear again. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to simply look at everything for what it is. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad that some people are unaware that healthy love exists. It's sad that some people are unaware that they don't have to fight for their own personal self-expression, which is their own boundary. If they are in healthy relationships, that dynamic would never exist. They wouldn't have to fight for who they want to be. The only reason they're fighting is because that's what's comfortable and familiar to them from a survival-based childhood. Probably where mommy and daddy violated their boundaries and restricted them from their own sense of personal self-expression. And then those things were pushed out into the shadows, shadow work. And they essentially became fragmented and probably pretty fucking confused about who they are. Oh, mommy and daddy said that this behavior is bad and that I shouldn't do it because it's I don't know, you could I'm not going to get into it, but you could get even like religious about it. The people that have been born into religious dynamics and stuff taught that their behaviors are outside of the word, right? It's fascinating. It's a bunch of repression, suppression, um, pushing out of self. Oh, that is not accepted under the word. Yeah, it's all boundary violations. That's what it is. What are you unaware of? What are you doing that you don't understand you don't have to do? What are you not doing that you don't understand you don't not have to do? You were just taught that different things are unacceptable and therefore you probably pushed them out into the shadows. What if you were lied to? What if you were lied to about love? What if you were lied to about relationships? What if you were fed all of these generalized ideas about love and relationships? Oh, love is just fucking painful. You got to fight your fucking face off to maintain it. Are you sure about that? Or were you just taught this one-dimensional reality of love? Were you not taught about the multidimensionality that is healthy love? There is painful, sadomasochistic, boundary violating love that is painful. It is unhealthy. There is lovely, boundaried, respected love that is healthy. I encourage you to sit with your belief systems. I also encourage you to sit with any sense of being triggered from anything that I say. I understand that a lot of people get very frustrated when, they're triggered and stuff, and they fight back and they get defensive and they say a bunch of shit. Quite honestly, it's helpful to be triggered, because if you're triggered by something, that means that you give your power to it. That means that you still have an attachment to it. That's the way that this works. See everything for what it is. Be present with it.